met a bird from TikTok and I blocked her after the second date. And this is what happened. But what she let slip on the date on the Thursday is that she needed a babysitter for Saturday night. So what I did is I just blocked her. I removed her off social media.
She demanded a babysitter on their second date, so he lost interest and decided to block her everywhere.
Well, hold on. Did she not tell him that she was a single mom before their first date?
I want to be a wife, but I don't want no man with kids, even though I got kids.
That's crazy.
I know. But I don't have...
Why don't you want a man with kids? And do you have primary custody? Do you have primary custody?
Do I have primary custody? Yes, I do. It's not the kids. I'm fine with kids. I don't like the baby mama drama.
How many fathers do you have?
One.
And where is he?
Incarcerated.
For the rest of his life?
Not for the rest of his life, no. But he's married.
Doesn't matter. Still could be drama.
You think so? I don't think so. I've never had.
He's alive. He's alive.
But I've never had with him.
But but he's alive.
Correct.
Yeah, he's alive, and he's clearly emotionally erratic. Clearly has maybe low impulse control. He's a felon. This isn't just some normal baby daddy. This isn't just some normal guy who's working a normal job. No, your baby daddy's a criminal. Your baby daddy's a criminal. So the likelihood of there being drama is higher, even though he's locked up. And at some point, he's not going to be.
So you don't want a man with kids because you don't want to deal with possible drama, but you want a man of high value man to deal with a woman with kids from a man who's in jail.
I know. Yep. That's unlogical, huh?
But you want a man of high value man to deal with a woman with kids from a man who's in jail.
I know. Yep. That's...
Well, you know what's interesting to me is in the beginning here, this clip, he says, well, that's crazy when she tells him that she has children, but she wants a man who does not. Kevin says, wow, that's crazy. And she says, I know. So this tells me that she already on her own went through the thought process of, I have children. You know, it would be great if I could find a man who didn't have kids. But that's not really fair for me to expect. It seems like she already went there. She already had that conversation with herself. But then she goes to Kevin Samuels almost to get his affirmation or get his reassurance that it is in fact wrong. Almost as if, and it's kind of sad, I don't know, I'm obviously speculating here, but almost as if this is like maybe a father figure, but maybe just a stable male figure in her life. Even though he's a stranger, she doesn't know him, but this is a man opening up and saying, hey, call in, let me talk with you guys, let's talk some of these things out. And this woman here who has a baby daddy who's a criminal, probably hasn't been that great at picking men in her life. I don't know about her actual situation with her actual father, but something tells me it ain't great. And so it's like kind of sad actually, because you have this woman who's calling in. She sees Kevin as a put together male figure, stable, rational, not a criminal. And so she's like, let me talk to this guy and let me see if my thinking is correct. And let me get his opinion. Let me get this opinion, an opinion from a stable man. And it is kind of sad, right?
Unlogical, huh?
Finally, they both agreed on one point. Now she got it. She even knew that sounded crazy. Another example of delusion, unrealistic expectations, and no accountability. Girl, good luck finding a man who is going to take that on. You can't be picky with your situation as the man has to select you. I guarantee you, she is still by herself right now. She knows it's illogical, but it still makes sense to her.
Well, no, she knows it's illogical. She knows it's crazy, but she still wanted to call him and I guess hear him say it. Almost as if, I don't know, right? I don't really know. Maybe she just wanted to talk to him. Again, maybe she literally just wanted to talk to a stable man and get some advice. That's probably all it is.
Well, I met a bird from TikTok and I blocked her after the second date. And this is what happened. You tell me if you think I'm in the wrong. So, we got talking through TikTok, then swapped numbers and all that carry on, right? And then we met up on the Tuesday for a little walk and a fishing ship date, you know, casual one. Then on the Thursday we met up and I said, let's do something a bit proper. I'll book mini golf, I'll pick you up, put some jeans on, make a bit of effort, we'll do that. So we did that. And then on the Friday, she had a busy day at work apparently, so I didn't really get a message from her. Got a couple of responses, nothing major. So I thought, all right, you're at work, benefit of the doubt. And then on the Saturday, I messaged her.
The low effort indicates her lack of interest.
It's hard to understand this guy.
She could be busy, but it doesn't take much to text someone, and she would have done it if she wanted to.
But what she let slip on the date on the Thursday is that she needed a babysitter for Saturday night. So what I did is I just blocked her. I removed her off social media.
If you can't afford your basic needs, you shouldn't be wasting time trying to find love. Finding a job should be at the top of her priority list.
Well, actually, I unfollowed her. She's still following me on Insta and this and that and blah, blah, blah. So I think I made the right move. Anyway, let me know what you think. Was I a bit hasty? Would you have done the same?
He thinks he's God's gift. No wonder he's single.
Incoming triggered single moms. Very predictable.
Too much expectation after 2 dates. He comes with red flags already. I would love to hear the lady's side. I wouldn't lose no sleep over you. I think that you did her a favor.
Just let them come out. Let them expose themselves. Let them reveal to you their existence so you can be reminded of how many of them there are and how many of them you have to avoid and the challenge you have at hand.
This says more about your level of communication than hers. This is a joke, surely. If not, what an escape for this poor woman.
I'm confused. Why are they so mad? He doesn't want to date a woman with kids. Why are you guys so pressed? What's the big deal? And it would be these same women who say, well, we all have our preferences. We're all entitled to our own opinions. No, it's not a joke. So what? She mentioned she needed a babysitter on Saturday. She said that on their first date, I guess. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of on her if she's not going to tell him. See, this whole thing could have been avoided if she would just have been upfront and said, hey, just so you know, before we go on this date, I do have children. And they wouldn't have had to waste each other's time. But no, she wanted to keep that detail hidden. She wanted to keep it private. And then she wanted to kind of nonchalantly mention it. Oh, yeah, I got to get a babysitter for Saturday. He's like, what? You have kids? Why would you not tell me this? I'm going to block your ass. She should have been honest. She should have been truthful. She should have been upfront.
Definitely made the right move. There are a few possible reasons that can lead to this type of situation. The first could be related to the fact that she was influenced by social media, and now she believes that anyone talking to her is supposed to cover her basic needs.
So is that what this is? She asked him to pay for the babysitter? I had a very hard time comprehending what this man was saying.
The other option could be a lack of interest. Maybe she was using this opportunity to get a few nice dinners without further intentions. They usually make rules for guys they don't like and break them for those they want. So with that being said, if she asked him to pay for her babysitter, he should know where he stands.
Single mom who lives with her parents wants man who makes $5 million a year to marry her under a prenuptial agreement that he doesn't have access to the wealth in a trust that she doesn't know the rules of or how much is in it. Does that summarize it?
Yeah, but I get it. I'm overweight.
That's not the key and point. What I'm looking at is the idea versus the reality of the thing.
I think what he's just trying to say, it's a bit not realistic. I mean, $5 million a year.
And I keep saying that these are my standards right now.
This is what excessive consumption of social media content is doing to the younger generation, and we will see more cases like this.
Can change when I meet the right man.
Let
God
me guess, she's on OnlyFans too?
doesn't know what he's gonna put for me.
Why would God send a man with $5 million to suffer?
What?
I'm sorry, wait, how would he suffer? How would he suffer?
If we are to assume for a moment that you think, okay, I'm a prize or I'm the prize or whatever, I wonder if women ever internalize this in their prayer of the thing I want. I want thing, I pray for thing. That you might, right? And if you did, why would God send a man to suffer for you?
The delusion is wild. If I made $5 million a year, I'm not gonna marry anyone.
So she wants a guy who makes $5 million and he can't get a prenup.
All they seem to care about is money. Nothing was said about love and how they treat me.
It's incredible.
My standards? Based on what exactly? And they still don't understand. The problem of having high standards is the people who meet those standards.
Well, she says she wants a guy who makes $5 million a year, but I doubt she's ever made $5,000 a month. And the reason I mention that is because I don't think she has a grasp or a concept of how much money that is and how hard it is to make that much money. So these women, these very, very young women, maybe in college, fresh out of college, even fresh out of high school, they go around saying they want a man who makes $1 million a year, but they don't actually have a concept of how much money that is and how little men in the world make that kind of money. And then also, not to mention, the type of woman that is then expecting that much. Well, that just ties it all together. It makes it for a big joke.
Okay, quick story time of how my baby daddy ghosted me when I was pregnant, and I haven't talked to him in almost a year, and my son is 1. So I was dating this guy in August of 2022. He was down here because he happens to play football, or he did at the time. I found out I was pregnant in like December, January-ish, told him. He wasn't super excited, I think probably because he already has 2 kids, who would be. But things were fine, I thought. I told him I was pregnant. Like I said, he wasn't super excited, but he wasn't super angry either. We kind of discussed what we would do, and I told him, listen, hey, I'm 30. I'm keeping it. I'm keeping him. And honestly, we didn't really discuss it that much further after that. I thought he seemed to be okay with it. So February came around, he moved.
Listen, be honest, woman. He didn't have a say in it, ever. At all. Don't act like that statement opened up a conversation. Hey, just letting you know I'm 30 years old. I'm keeping it. Waits. What's your opinion on that? Give me your take. You didn't give him an opening. You said, I'm keeping it. And men know they have no say. They don't have any say. I mean, here's the thing, though. The fact that this guy already has children and then he's going and knocking up other women, I figured out, buddy. It's not that challenging to not get a woman pregnant, for fuck's sake. But yeah, I mean, lady, don't act like you set the ground for a very open conversation. You said, I'm 30 and I'm keeping it. What's your take? What's your take on this? I'm 30 years old, keeping him. Your opinion?
I help him move. Everything seems fine. I start talking about the pregnancy more, and then all of a sudden, ghost, right? Ghost. Don't hear from him again.
My baby daddy ghosted me the whole pregnancy. Then when my son turned 2, he got engaged and fought for full custody and won.
Wow. My baby daddy ghosted me the whole pregnancy. Then when my son turned 2, he got engaged and fought for full custody and won. I hear ya. But I'm curious. They don't just do that. That man got full custody for a reason. And it's probably because of you. They looked at you and thought, no, the best interest of these children is if they're with the father. So that says a lot about you. But I do feel a bit frustrated because this woman here, like I kind of just got done saying, is she's like, It's like, okay, so you didn't really ask for his opinion. You told him how it's going to go. You didn't get his input. You said, I'm keeping it. And then he's like, well, I'm going to ghost you then. Like, what do you want me to say? I don't want this child. I mean, I'll admit the guy's a loser and he needs to figure his shit out. You know, I'm not giving him any excuse here. But, I mean, hey, you told him I'm keeping it. You didn't allow him to express his opinions. So he's like, okay, I hear you. I'm just going to ghost you. I'm just going to leave. I'm going to exit from your life. And that honestly is the only option men have when it comes to them. If they don't want to be a father, do they have a say in whether or not this child continues? Do they have a say in whether or not this child is born? Of course not. So then what is their option? Well, disappear. Literally, go ghost. If women can opt out of motherhood, let's go ahead and allow men to opt out of fatherhood. She did mention football, didn't she? Was this guy like an NFL player? Some big shot slid in her DMs just for a one night stand, pump and dump? I mean, yeah, I guess. Whatever. I just get kind of angry how there's no, it's completely A-okay for women to opt out of motherhood. But for men, it's like, nope, you're not allowed to do that. And yeah, I mean, he's going to have to pay child support. Like, there is no option for men to opt out of fatherhood completely. Going to have to provide for that child in some way. So it's just another, and then when we'll say, oh, we're so oppressed by the patriarchy. We're fighting for our rights. We're going to lose our bodily autonomy under President Trump. Meanwhile, they hold all the reproductive rights. They have a monopoly on reproduction and getting to choose if that child is born or not. They get to opt out of motherhood as much as they want. But that luxury is not available to men. But anyways, let's read a couple comments here. This guy says, your first mistake was dating a single mom that you met on TikTok. Well, that's what I was curious when I heard him say that. I'm like, I don't even understand how that happens. Like, was she obviously was local. How did you manage that? A single mother who still wants to be treated like a single woman with no kids. Good luck with that. Let's see if there's anything about that last clip here. Okay, so this is the only comment I found applying to that last clip there. He says, sounds like he opted for a male abortion. His body, his choice, ? Yeah, and that's my whole thing. It's just like they don't really have an option. But anyways, yeah, I'm going to leave the video there. So if you made it this far, really appreciate you. If you could, help out the channel and subscribe. And I'll see you later.